This is on the map NAF. We're going to get up to about 65 to get this thing up off the ground. Flaps are fully extended down, which allows you to fly a lot slower than you normally would. If you try to fly at about 65, 70 with your flaps up, you're just going to go down. But you put your flaps down, you get your lift, and up you go. I want you to know that I'm using track IR for all the head movement. I've got a ball cap on, and I'm looking left and right. If I want to zoom in, I just lean in. If I want to zoom out, I lean back. I'm looking to the left. I'm looking at the coastline. Now I'm looking to the right. And that's all just moving my head. So if you fly with a keyboard and a mouse, you don't lose any control. If you've ever done it before, you know when you double tap your Alt key, your mouse will move you around looking, but you lose that control of the aircraft. Alright, this is the what is this thing called? The GNT C-185. This is the T model, because if you see the round tubes on the side, those are rockets. You'll see them fire. There you go. They fire rockets, and it's a pretty good aircraft. If you're good at flying, you can hit some good targets with this thing. I love this plane as far as flying it. I don't like them on the ground because they bounce a lot. I don't know if it's a video problem, or the four-wheelers do it too on the OverPoch mods. So I don't ever own them. I like flying them, I just don't own them. Here's the outside of this one. There's a bright yellow one. I love it. But if they just wouldn't bounce around, because if there's any slope on the ground, they'll slide. So that's the negative part of having this plane. You can also see I'm still flying with the flaps down, and that's because I'm flying at about 80 to 90, because I'm wanting to fly slow, and that way I can check the ground out. If you had the flaps up, you'd have to fly a lot faster. Now moving on, this is a Camel. This is one of the ARM one. I believe this is the US Camel. It's Camel _ US, and then there's a RUS that's armed, and then there's a Civi that's not armed. Now this thing's going to bounce around here taking off, because I'm going downhill and it's trying to take off, and you're going to do a lot of bouncing. I'll get it under control here in a little bit and get it up in the air, get out here on this grass, and then I'll turn down the hill, start picking up some speed. Now these are fun to fly. You got to watch your speed, because you got to keep your speed up. You'll see here in a second that they are easy to get up. Doesn't take a lot. Bet you thought I'll hit the ground with my wing. You'll see this. Yep, touched it. Boom. I thought I was going to wreck then, but it didn't happen. Here's your gun sights. Like I said, this thing they're fun if you get people. You get them, and like I'll buy a bunch of them and let people have dog fights. Now here's some more of the track IR head movement, just looking around while I'm flying. I still have full control with my mouse and my keypad. And I'm just turning my head a little bit, looking to the left. Look, I can look all the way behind me if I wanted to. Here's the outside of the plane. Like I said, they're fun. I don't fly them very often, but when I do, I have some fun with them. The dog fights are great in these things. Had a brilliant idea to have a dog fight with the F-35B. Yeah, I didn't stay in the air very long at all. There's somebody's base. Wow, they like to have a large amount of ground. I remember when I first started building over 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago. I'll say almost 3 years ago. I started out in Origins, the original Origins, and then I went into OverPoch, and I used to build huge bases. And now it's usually just throw up 3 walls, a door, and put a metal roof, and then that's it. Put a safe in it, and I'm set. DMR, that's the only weapon I carry. Alright, I'm just flying around the map like I said. Get over this mountain here and we'll move into the next aircraft. Like I said, they're fun to fly. And you could do some aerobatic maneuvers in this airplane also. If you notice, the dials are working. The speed, I don't think they're accurate to what you're flying, but they do work somewhat. Alright, moving into the, what do we got? The C-130J. It's a large plane, cargo plane. This one takes some space to get in the air. But once you learn how to fly the smaller planes, you can fly these fairly easy. And it just takes practice and practice and practice. I mean, I'm still practicing. I can land them almost any aircraft there is. But we're just going to take this one up to a flight, and then we're going to fly over to the Hero Trader and land at that airport, which is on the southwest of the map. Right now we're on the northeast of the map, and I think it's probably around, what, 20, I forget the distance over to this airfield. 20,000, maybe 18,000. But anyhow, it's a real fun plane. And if you got a lot of guys going out, we've done missions before where we went up and we all just halo jump out, and it's pretty fun to gather up, meet at the airfield, get in the big cargo plane, take off. And the most I've ever had in one of these is 12 plus the pilot. That's a big plane. Now what we're going to do is we're maneuvering in to land at the airfield. Now I have it marked. We're just 3,000 out from it. Kind of foggy today, but I'll show you when I lean in. I was talking about the track IR. I want to see the runway, and what I do is I'll lean forward, and then I'll be able to zoom in instead of right-clicking the mouse. Now I think I see the runway up here. This is looking like where it's at. Now I want to see it as soon as possible because I need to line up with it. Okay, I'm going to lean in, and you zoom. I see the runway. I know what adjustments to make. Now I've got the flaps fully extended down. I have the gear down, and I'm staying about 180. You don't want to go any slower than that, or you're going to drop out of the air like a rock. But here we go. I hope everybody's had a nice flight. I hope nobody got sick on the way. I'm hoping to do more videos of different planes, helicopters, and nose down. Boom. Touch the two wheels down in the back and just put the nose down. Have a great day, guys.